So I think what I'm going to start now is a series of videos of showing variable hunting. And because I don't know how the shoe's going to produce before it starts, I'm just going to see how the shoe's producing and then immediately try to bet for it when it's working for the variable we're looking for. But in order to reduce the chance of having loss to stop, we just won't incur the loss. We're going to wait for something to qualify itself, and then we're going to bet for it, right? So, Baccarat is basically two things. It's run-ins and it's chops. And that's the basic of it. But there are other things that happen in between there, like my second seconds, or I don't know, 2-2-2s. You could bet for the 2-2-2s. You could win on the chop. You could win on the come down. You could win on the chop. You could win on the come down. I've never been a fan of that. But that's like combining the chop and the streak together, right? And you're getting the best of both worlds. I mean, sometimes you'll see a 2-2-2 that sticks like all the way across. But you're asking for a very finite thing to happen. It's got to be exact. And we can't always deal with exact. I mean, chop, you could bet for every single chop, but eventually one's going to go two, and then you're going to have to bet it again just to get your money back. Or you could bet it on a 1-2. But for now, I don't want to make things complicated. I would rather just flat bet. So what we're going to do first, we're going to look for my favorite, the chop. So we're just going to start a shoe. And we're going to see if it starts out choppy. And if it doesn't, we're going to ignore everything else that happens. Starting out a streak already. Oh, it chopped. But that doesn't qualify as a chop, not yet. So we got a bank player. Oh, well, there's a 2-2, right? Let's see if it doesn't. I don't know. We'll see. Nah. So okay, now. So none of this is on the table for a chop scenario. We're just waiting for this to die. And you know what? We might sit there and watch a long player happen here. We are. In all those other videos I've been showing so far, I would have been on it after the fourth one, right? But here's that Brad special again. What if it's a natural 8 or a 9 or some variant of an 8 or a 9 on banker next hand? Or just goes to bank altogether? Let's see. Oh, player stuck in there. 1-5/4. Okay, so if you were on it after the fourth player and you were running the streak, you'd be okay right now. And you wouldn't jump off. No, you wouldn't. You'd be getting all these. Too bad I didn't say we're going to play for the streak first, huh? But you know what I mean. Like, if you're not going to bet for it, then you have to make an honest decision to yourself that you're not going to. Because what happens is, what if you jumped in after 4 and it chopped right away? Then you're like, fuck. Now if it starts chopping, I gave away one of my wins before I even got started, right? So you have to make a decision at the onset before you have any evidence. At least if it's a brand new shoe. If you have a shoe that you jump in the middle and something's happening, play for what's happening, right? But right now we don't know anything. So you could wait to see what's happening and then choose, but for the purpose of making a video, I'm going to have this be the chop video. And I can't find one, right? But I haven't bet anything. They ain't got my... It's clearly a player shoe. Now I could just hear people screaming at me, why aren't you betting for all the players? You wouldn't be wrong. Let's see if it goes 5 again. Sure did. Look at that. Gonna make the U, right? See that? It came down, made a little sideways, and now it's coming down to touch it if this hits. There we go. And it did. Oh, tied. Natural 9 player, so it made the U. Well, fuck. This would have been a lot more fun if this was the streak video, right? Because you know I would have been on it. I would have been on it after the fourth one there on the first runner player. I would have got 5, 6, 7, and we would have lost one. Or did we? That was just a -1 up there, right? We won 1, 2, 3 on the 5, 6, 7 in the first run. We put those 3 in our pocket, right? That one red there, we got to break that bitch even. So we're not worried about that red that's in the third row there. We're going to wait for another run. So what happened? It chopped. It came down 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we jumped on and we got 1, 2 more. So you would have that one back plus one more. Now you should have 4 to the good in your pocket and all your money back in front of you. Let's see if the player would have continued. This is supposed to be a chop. Okay, so it did. So you'd have a -1 again, but you have 4 good ones in your pocket. You're only missing 1 of yours. I'm not netting the difference, not yet. Let's see what happens. So I got a second bank. Let's see. Third bank. Uh-oh. I gotta wait and see if it goes one more bank before I invest. And it tied. And fourth bank. So here we go. Okay. So this is gonna be a streak video. But I don't know if I can because I didn't put the money out there. But I could still, you could follow what I'm saying here, right? This would have been the first ever bank. We would have won one. So now we'd have 5 in the pocket. Not 5 in the pocket. We'd still have 4 in the pocket. We lost recovering the one that we lost on the jump. So that puts the money on the table back to 0, correct? Because when the last player run ended, that was a -1. And then I waited for 4 bank, and I jumped on it on the 5th bank just now, right? That got the 1 back, and the color changed back. So now if it wins again, we could start putting them in the pocket. This would be for bank. And it didn't work, you know. So we have the -1 on the table, but we still have the 4 new chips in the pocket. Those don't come out till we leave the table. So we got to break this -1 even. So I'm going to wait for another run. Meanwhile, look at all the runs we have. Seconds are producing, right? But yeah, really worry about that. Because look what happened. It jumped. So right now we're in streak mode right now. But I want to qualify. Okay. So there, you got a long bank, 1 player, and 2 bank. You could play for the bank right now, but I'm gonna suggest not. I'd wait for it to go 4. Even if you gotta wait a while. You've already got 4 in your pocket and you're only down 1. Whatever. I'll wait. I'll wait as long as that shit takes. I don't care. So, whatever. So it went bank. Boo-hoo. Yeah, it's the strong side. Whatever. I'll wait for it to go 4. I minimized the concept. There, it went 4. Now, sure it is. Could have had those 2 maybe if you wanted to be aggressive because it's now 9 out of 10 hands were banker outside of the tie. But yeah, now I would say let's try for the bank. I mean, when it goes 4, it goes 5 right now anyway, right? So why not try for it? You know it's going to screw me here, but let's try for it. Right now we're only at the -1 with 4 new ones in the pocket. Player. Of course it is. So we're going to wait. So we're at a -2. No problem. What are we trying to get what are we trying to get a day again? I'm pretty sure I've been saying 3. We already had 4, and we backed ourselves off 1, which put us back down to the 3 take that we're looking for anyway as a daily. So we didn't even have to keep playing this, but just for the point of the matter. If you were only trying to get 1 a shoe, you already had 4 of them. You didn't have to stay in that. But look how it's streaking, right? If it's going to be a streaky shoe, let's figure this out, right? Let's see how much streak we're going to get out of this. It's coming down again. It's fucking crazy. Now it jumped, so no streak here. Starting to chop a little now. Okay, yeah, it's 3 direct chops. That is the first instance of 3 direct chops. This is interesting. This is now the longest chop we had. But we're just searching for streaks right now. So normally I would see that, and that would be an indicator to me, okay, I'm going to bet player for 2 hands here. But I'm not going to do that in this instance. I wish I was putting the chips out there for you to show you, but look at that. It chopped, right? player. It would have worked in the first try, but we're not betting for that. We're staying humble. We're not getting involved in everything. We're hunting, right? We're fishing in a boat. We're waiting for one thing to happen. We're waiting for the run to happen, and we're going to strike for it when that happens. And that way, if things don't work, like the chop just missed one there, but that would have been a burn hand, right? Yeah, because it would have been a win. Anyway, don't worry about that right now. We're waiting for a qualifiable run first. That ain't a run. What do I say about the 3-4 is always chopping? Not so much this shoe, but it's close to tied on that variable right now. Not really, because you bet 1-2, but I can't help myself. I just see so much at once. I'm sorry. So these don't qualify as runs, right? A 3 and a 2, no. Am I going to just throw money out there to see if it runs? No, I'm not going to do that either. Look at all the money I'm saving myself, not getting involved in all the repeated failures. There's no stop loss to worry about here. It's hard for me to validate that because I'm not putting the chips out there to show you I'm not getting involved in it. But I'm saying if I am or I'm not. I still have the 4 units in my pocket, and I still am only down the -1 from that where that 4 went. The last run of 4 bank went to the player. I haven't bet since. So I'm only down the -1. -2. You're right. -2. And -1 on the first run. And we waited for another run. When it went 4, we tried again and it didn't go. So -2. Okay, fine. If there's a lot of resistance here, we could, that's the beauty of this, is we still have 2 good units in our pocket. I mean, we have 4 in our pocket, but we're missing 2 of our starting units on the table. So if it gets to a point where it's just, fuck, I can't get it to run no more, we could run with the 1 unit that's still in our pocket and call that a shoe. Because if we get 3 units a day, that's going to be a lot of money. So, okay. The seconds just hit 3 in a row on the second. That's normally a bet here for banker if you wanted to side bet that, but I'm just saying we're only betting for the run, so this is not a bet in this scenario for me. I'm just gonna wait, but it would have won, right? That's why that shit works, right? But I'm trying to be a good example here and try to show people a way that you don't gotta bet for this, that, and whatever. You can pick one thing to hunt for, and eventually it'll pay off. So we have 3 times here. It went 3 in a row. Look at that, it came down. So now I'm gonna say, jump on the bank. I almost put the $100 chip on the bank, but I'm not using chips this shoe. I'll do another one right after this shoe just to make a point of it all. Okay, so it would have won. I wish I was using the chips. All right. So that would have got that down to a -1 on the table with a +4 in the pocket for a net of 3. If this goes one more bank, we have this zeroed up. Natural tie, it's going to be a natural player after natural tie, but let's see anyway. Oh, we won. Good. I like money. Okay, so that zeroes out the negatives. So much for stop loss. We're even, bitches. So now we just need 1 more to win, and we win. So now there's another +1 in the left pocket. That's a +5. And +6 now. And we'll just keep winning money, I guess. Yep, +7. And a tie. Damn, I wish I used the chips now. This would have looked so much cooler. But it's undeniable when you see runs like this. So much for trying to show you the chop. This is now going to be the streak video. Next year I won't get anything like this. It'll be all chop. I've lost count. I think that's 9 now, maybe 10. But you get my point. Let's just see how far this fucking road goes, and then I'll start a new video, a new shoe. Okay, so it ended. I don't care about the seconds where it started. I'm gonna put the money out there on this one now. Why is this not refreshing? There we go. Goddamn Wi-Fi. Right? Okay, so let's start again. This is going to be the streak video. I lied. So I have to put that in the title somehow. Streak video it is. We're gonna try to find a streak. And we're going to show you how to do that. Oh, look, tying the first 3 hands again. Second bank. Third bank. Okay. What do I say about that? I normally won't bet after the third one, but if it's at the beginning of the shoe, I'm a sucker. Let's go, man. I win. Now, if we're just playing one and get out, we're already off the shoe, right? But we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. It's right at the beginning. We don't know how far it's going to go. It's going to go. Street, baby. Look at this. We got a daily already. First 3 hands. Oh, I guess we can go home. Right off the rip. Three banks. 6 altogether. Let's get a right hand turn. Come on. Tie. Fuck. I lost. So, because we got out on after the third bank, we won 3. Those are in our pocket now, right? Those aren't on the table. We're not looking at them. Proud of ourselves. Those are in our pocket. You forget they're there after a while. I'm telling you, you forget they're there. They're like money in the laundry later. You forget those 3 chips are in your pocket. If they're black chips. You don't even remember they're there. You just, you know you're missing the one of your original buy-in. Whatever your buy-in was. You're missing that blue buy-in. The blue chip. The blue dot buy-in. You know what I'm saying, goddammit. You're missing 1 unit. Because of that blue result. So now we're looking for a new streak. I'm trying to hurry because my battery's dying. Okay, so now it's okay. Let's see. Remember, we're not worried about the chop right now. We're only betting for streak. We're just waiting, not putting any money out there. And this time I'm actually using the chips. That's what we're up. 2 units. You can see it now because I actually put the money on it this time. Need to see if this runs. There you go. Ooh, 9/8. 9/8, bro. So it is a little choppy right now. We might not find another legit streak. Yeah, dude, it's all chop. Like, I'd be all over this. But we're not playing for it. But that's the thing, too. Like, oh, God. It's like when someone walks up to the table and says, oh, did you get that run? Now, everybody knows. Everybody knows I like the chop. And if they say, oh, wow, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 without it going 3 and John's not going to chop, what's he doing? They know I'd be on that shit most of the time. But for the purpose of this video, I'm not. I'm going to be a good example. We're betting for one thing only. Oh my God, it's still chopping. This video is just killing me. The first shoe, I was hoping it would chop. And then the second shoe, I was hoping it would run. And it did the opposite on both shoes this video. This is just whatever. Look at this. You got to bet for the chop when that's happening, right? Motherfucker, can I just have peace in my life? It's just going to keep chopping. You got to bet for it. Okay, so much like the first shoe, where I thought I was going to bet chop, we were supposed to bet for the streak. And this one, you're supposed to bet for the streak, and it starts chopping. You got to be willing to see what's going on. But here's the thing, we haven't bet shit. We still have the 2 units, right? We're watching all this stuff happen, but we're not involved in it. We're not involved in it because we're only waiting for a run. So we're paralyzed, right? We can't even bet nothing because nothing's happening. So we won 3 off the rip. Those in our pocket. We lost 1. We can't even get the lost 1 back because we can't get anything to run. But I'm telling you, this chop could end very shortly. Probably right here. Nope, another natural. Insulting. This video could have been a lot better if I did it the reverse. And we would have had so many chips. It would have been like degenerate level stuff that we're still in the shoe. But you can't leave it when it says productive. Who's calling me? I didn't get a phone call. What the fuck? Okay. So maybe now we have an opportunity. We have four blue. We're going to try to keep this air run going. Come on. Ooh, nice. All right. So we got another unit. Right? Got another unit. We have 3 units now. Commission notwithstanding, we have 3 units. We have 3 black chips in our pocket. And we're looking at some red chips in front of us from the leftovers. But we got 3. That's another thing, okay? If I win that unit and it's not a full $100 unit, I'm putting the black chip in my pocket from in front of me, or 4 green, or whatever I got to do to make that $100. It's going to. I'll color up a black chip and put it in my pocket. I'm not putting the change in my pocket and feeling like all these loose chips in there and not knowing what I got. I'm putting the black one in there, and I'm taking those 3 units to the cage. I'm not worried about the change. Okay, so we're up 3. We're up 3? Yeah. No, Johnny. Yeah, we're up 3. Because what we did was we replaced, see the bank run at the beginning? And then we had the 1 blue dot. So we had the 3 in our pocket, and then we lost 1. And then we were waiting for another run, which we just found. We bet the first after the 4th player. We got the 5th player, so that's the 3rd unit. That was technically on the scoreboard here with this 285. It's counting it like it got the one back that we lost up there on the very first player of the shoe, right? But if we're playing for real, we would have had 300 in our pocket already. And then this player that we just won on the 5th player of this run would have made up for the first player of the shoe that canceled the bank run, correct? I hope that made sense. Right? So we got the money back that we lost after the first run ended at the beginning, right? But if this now goes player again and touches the bottom like the last one did, now we're putting another one in our pocket. So we repeat that bet. But nay, it chopped. So back to the plus 3 in the pocket and the 1 missing on the table, and that's why we're in a net of 2 units with the 185. So now, for as far as a stop loss goes, I mean, it doesn't exist to me, but right now we're at a -1, in my opinion, because we still have taken 3 units, but 1's missing on the table. So we gotta try to find another run. Runs are harder to find. You watch how many shoes you try to find runs on and how often they actually happen. Think about it. Think how many shoes I had where we'd have runs of 3 and 4 that stopped right on 3 or 4 and never went 5, let alone 6, 7, 8, right? This whole chop, this is what happens more than anything else. This is how I make my bread and butter. It really is. I mean, I could play exclusively for chop and be just fine. Until I run into the quintessential cocksucker shoe that always runs 6 and stops right on 6 and doesn't quite run and doesn't quite chop, right? And just doesn't do nothing for you. No matter what way you play it, what kind of player you are, it just didn't work, you know. I'd like to thank T-Mobile for having the worst service ever and keep putting that stupid image on my screen. Thanks. Still fucking chopping. Look at this. 1-2, 1-2. He played for that all day, too. Bank, by the way, hasn't even come down past 2 since the beginning of the shoe. Players only come down 3 one time. It's just a choppy shoe. Between those 2 variables, like, we could have just bet the 1-2 the whole time on the top. Like, if you were betting on the chop the shoe, you wouldn't even been involved at the beginning. It came down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right at the beginning. You weren't playing no chop anyway. You had no evidence to say you were going to bet the chop. If you were betting the chop, you would have been on it after the 3rd one. You would have missed 1, and then you would have got it back. You would have skipped a hand. You would have won, skipped a hand, 1, skipped a hand, 1, skipped a hand, lose, win, and then lose 2. Still would have been all right. And then the chop opened back up again a little bit on a 1-2, 1-2. But now it ended because now we have 3 player. So now we're going to test. Now we're going to see if it goes past 3. And it did. It did. Well, when it goes 3, it goes 4. We shouldn't be surprised, right? It's one of those deals. Not that that means anything, but sometimes it does. So we're going to see if we can get the run here. We did. 10-1, actually. 8-0. It's a good hand for my bonus bastards, but, you know, don't do that shit. You can, but you're going to hate yourself later. So there, we won. 300 a day, right? We don't need to go fishing for 30 to 1s. How many hundreds are they giving away before they get that 30 to 1? I say, oh, yeah, good job. Fuck yourself. You're giving it all away anyway. Same motherfuckers win those 30 to 1s. They gave it all away before they leave. Okay. So, basically right there, we won 2 hands on that run of 4 on that run, right? And then we got 2 more for the 5-6. Those 2, one of them went in your pocket. One of them stayed on the table because the first one on the 5th one replaced the prior run loss. But then the other one, wait, let me double check. Not true. Not true, John. Because what happened was we won one, but then we gave it back. So we had a -1 before the first. See where? Okay, let me back up. Okay, where the first run of 5 player is, right there. We were trying to loss recover a -1 on the table when we still had 3 in our pocket, right? So we got that one back on the 5th player, but then we gave it right back to a -1. We were broken even with the 5th player, but then we gave it back on the -1 on the bank that ensued after. So we got another run, we got 4 player, we got it back, we got it to 0, then we got a +1. That one should be in your pocket. So you should have 4 +1s in your pocket. But then we lost on the bank in this very last hand here, see? So that would have us at a net of 300. And there it is, the 285. So you see what my thinking is here. I can't take chips off of here and put them in my pocket and show you what we're doing. But if you're keeping track, you know where you stand. You can, if you're playing like this for practice on an app like this, you can just think like that, or you could write it down so you can keep track so you don't do this. So we're still doing all right, but we're about halfway through the shoe, so yeah, hand 43. We have 4 units in our pocket, but we're missing one of them on the table. If we net the difference right now, we could say it's a $300 day. $300 a day over 300 days. Not a motherfucking thousand. Why are we making our life so hard? This is 1 shoe. 1 shoe. 2 shoes? 2 shoes. Fine. That's only because I reset the second shoe quickly. I didn't play the whole shoe last shoe. Collectively, this is 1 shoe. And what did we have on the first shoe? I don't remember, but it was something. We had a lot of runs there. So between the 2 of them, we're doing all right. Probably have 6, 7 units or something. But regardless, you know, the first shoe we were saying we were going to bet chop, so we weren't really betting for it. But if this was all going to be streak shoe, you see what I'm saying? If you go back to the beginning and you play that for the streak, you know you were making money. But if you weren't, you were lamenting the whole time you weren't. You know what I mean? So now we're just trying to find another run. I don't think we're going to find another one. I really don't. Just the way this shoe been going, it's very chaotic. It's, as far as the streak's concerned, right? Like the runs at 2 stop on 2 for the most part, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now today my son is here making all the noise. Chopping again, man. It's crazy. Look at it, still chopping, bro. Let's see if it goes 3. Nope, still chopping. What are you gonna do, you know? This is the thing, though. Am I betting nothing? No. I'm just sitting here chilling, waiting for a chop. Wondering why the waitress hasn't come around as I'm sitting here bored off my ass. Hating myself that I'm not betting the chop, by the way, because I love this right here. Love it. Not the top box, but I'm just trying to show this chop, but there's really no way I can isolate it here. See? It's not going 3. If it doesn't go 3, it works for me. Usually. But I'm not betting for it right now, so I'm just aggravated. I can't show you anything cool. This is stupid. 30-minute video now. Fuck. Okay, please come down. Yes. All right, do something nice here. This will give us 5 in our pocket. No, it won't. No, let me back that up. This replaces the one we're missing on the table. Oh, damn it, I didn't hit banker. That was a bank. I'm just going to bet 2 here to fix it. Don't do that in real life if you miss a hand, but I'm going to do it. Fix the scoreboard here. Otherwise, I'm going to reset. Ah, I got it. Fuck you. So, okay. And they were both banks and the commission's the same. Got to go back to regular bank now. So, you understand what I did there, right? I I hit the deal button before I put my chip on there. So, for the purpose of the video staying correct, I put 2 on the following hand. And it worked. I'm back to 1. I'll be a good boy now, I promise. Yeah, they didn't believe me. They zeroed me out. 10 to 1 for the fucking player. But, so anyway. That number that's in the bottom box is indicative of what's actually in our pocket. Because we've already had the -1 recovered up here. Right? So that should be what's in our pocket. But we're missing 1 on the table. So we got to get that one back. Give or take. The commission is convoluted. It's got to be getting close to the end of the shoe. Let's see if we can get it to come down one more time here. Oh, we did. Wow. Can we get one more? Nope. But see why we wait? See why we wait? See why we wait? That's the first run of 3 that didn't go 4, by the way. The other ones all went 4, unlike some of the other shoes I've been showing you where they stop on 3, stop on 4. We've had 3 runs this shoe that went 6. So that's why you gotta wait sometimes. You just don't gotta be involved in the bullshit. There's about 15 hands left. Might as well play out the string and just see here. Since it is a streaky shoe, maybe we can catch something here. Can we find something to bet for? Nope. Gotta wait again. But we're just sitting here, not betting shit. I don't even know how many bets we made this year, but I'll bet you it's under 10. We only have 4 units in our pocket, and we got lost recovered the other one. So, I mean, maybe we bet 10 at the most. 10 times the entire shoe out of 68 hands. This is what I mean. If you isolate what you're going to bet for, it makes it a lot easier to not worry about your stop loss, because you're not really losing that much. We're at a -1 on the table with 4 bullets in our pocket. Those 4 units in my pocket, that could be worth any amount I wanted it to be if I had the capital to support it. So, yeah, there's about 10 hands left. I don't think we're going to catch another run here, unless it does right this minute. That's 3. No, it's going to stop. So, I don't want to waste time. It's a resource. But that's a good take, guys. Even if we were at a -1 on the table, which we are, there should be 4 in our pocket, which would put us at 275 after subtracting the one we're missing on the table of our money, right? If we're hunting for a new run, that means we lost one of our own, but the rest of these were in our pocket. So we should still be at a daily. If we're trying to get 300, that's a daily. So do that every day. I'll do a chop, I guess, on the next one.